How's it going, guys? I had this whole spiel prepared in my mind. What I was gonna say today. It's been a while since I've spoken to you like this, and I got zapped. I don't know, by someone, by something. You want to call it the Sitracha, you want to call it it's a hara. I'm like, I don't know who zapped me, but they zapped me. By the way, check out this view. Second. So, there you go. I don't know if you can see it here. There we go. I just don't want any cops to any problems. So, oops. So, yeah, came up with this whole thing, and I was just thinking about Hanukkah. You know, what is Hanukkah? Hanukkah is a lot of people think it's lights and light and light and lights and light and light. Ladies and gentlemen, Hanukkah is essentially a battle of two competing ideologies that have been competing since time immemorial. It's basically Yaakov versus Esav. The defeat of Yaakov over Esav. My friends. That's exactly what it is. That's essentially what it is. That's Hanukkah. That's what Hanukkah is. There was a force. At that time, it was the ancient Greeks. They did not want the Jews to practice whatever it is that we were practicing, and we still practice to this day. Interestingly enough, it actually even began with the Hellenist Jews, the ones who were. It actually began as a civil war, if that sounds familiar to you guys. Where the Hellenist Jews were like, "Come on, guys, let's stop being, troglodytes here. Look at these wonderful philosophies that are being brought to us by, Plato and Socrates and all these other guys, and let's stop being troglodytes. Let's enter the whatever century they were in. Let's enter this century. Come on, guys. What is this ancient stuff that you're still practicing? Your, circumcision, kashrut, kosher, this one God, you can't even see him. Come on, guys, seriously. So it started with some of the Jews, quote unquote, or as we know them, to understand them to be as Erev. And then it went into the rest of society, and then began a war. The people who fought the war, ladies and gentlemen, were branded as terrorists. The Jews who were fighting the war against, both the Hellenists and and the Greeks, the Seleucid Greeks. They were considered terrorists, ladies and gentlemen. Now you fast forward to today. We look around us, guys. And we have these, what my friend Frank likes to call, gosh, this guy has no respect whatsoever. No respect. My friend Frank likes to call Gnostic fruitcakes. People who believe that the God of the Torah is the bad one. He's the one that's holding us back, who's putting us in shackles. And the proverbial Nachash, the snake, the Satan, is the good one. He's the one that's here to liberate us. This is, ladies and gentlemen, what these people believe. The people who have been trying to make us take X, Y, and Z. Notice again, the first thing they told us when they locked us down, they told us, you cannot go to places of worship. You can protest all you want, you can break, the storefront of Christian Dior or whatever store, but you can't go worship, ladies and gentlemen. My friends, if you go to YouTube, they've got about 50 things you can't say about Shmovid. The first on the list, my friends, the first thing on the list, it's not the second, it's not the fifth, it's not the 10th, it's not the 40th. It's the first. What is it? You cannot, promote prayer in place of medical treatment. I understand you shouldn't promote prayer in place of medical treatment. You should promote prayer in conjunction with medical treatment. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a thing in Judaism when you've done everything you can, right? And that's it. Then I mean, like you have nothing else to, we've seen these miracles, where the doctors have done everything he can. He told the patient, okay, it is what it is. And people prayed and the person came out. Yeah, they happen. These things happen. Ladies and gentlemen, YouTube could have put that as like the 5th thing or the 10th thing. They saw fit to put it as the first thing. My friends. And, now we see Sean Penn, the great actor Sean Penn of the, as they called it in Team America World Police, the Film Actors Guild, FAG. We'll fight our own wars the FAG way, right? So he comes out and says that people who are not schmaxinated should be sent away. This is a person still saying this. Same thing with that idiot Gene Simmons. I don't know what's in their head. I don't know if they got some mind control or what. My friends, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, Ardern, Jacinda Ardern, anybody who's telling, he wants people to report their neighbors as a person going against the government directives on Shmovid as a what? A terrorist. My friends, they want you to forget about God. They want you to worship something else. If it was up to them, you'd worship them. Dr. Mousy, I really appreciate the adulation and putting on a pedestal, but it's not what whatever it is. It's not what I'm seeking. I'm just paraphrasing. But he does appreciate it. He did feel the need to say that. My friends, but we see now, it's Hanukkah. All the truth is slowly bubbling to the surface. I think that these journalists on Twitter are doing it the right way. They are priming us. They're showing us stuff that we kind of already knew. Okay, the government is paying social media companies to say what they want them to say. Whoop-de-doo. They're paying them to do this. They're pushing them to do this, otherwise they'll shut them down. As if we didn't know this, ladies and gentlemen. People are wondering, why is there no reaction? Why is there no social, there's no law enforcement? Because there isn't, and because people don't care. Because people are not calling their congressman to implore the, attorney general in their state or wherever, because they don't care. But ladies and gentlemen, rest assured, the stuff that's going to come out with regards to Shmovid and Mr. Mousy and all these people, and this is something that they have to release in a very succinct way, because all the dots have to be shown how they connect. Because if you're a person, you're what's called a normie, and you don't, the dots, I had a friend say, the dots are so close, they're almost touching each other, right? But it doesn't matter, because if you're not sitting around and understanding and connecting the dots, and somebody just shows you something and be like, okay, whoop-de-doo, big deal. So they have to do it in a very, very succinct way, ladies and gentlemen. They have to show the pertinent things. We have Dr. Mousy, who sat in a deposition, and they literally showed him the emails that he wrote to the people, to Shmazak, Shmiko Shmel Shmelines, they showed it to his face. I can't recall. He said, I can't recall 175 times. Did the media cover it? No. My friends, but it's going to come a point where these things are not going to be ignored. People, they say only 12 or 13% of Americans are on Twitter actively. Okay, that's a lot of people. If you're saying, I don't know, 350 million people, you're talking about at least 30 million people. No, more. 40 million people are on Twitter. Like, actively, right? That's a lot. That's a boat ton of people, bro. It's a lot of people. My friends, you know, I was just telling Dr. Huff today in the roundtable discussion that we had with him, you know, these people, Mr. Gil Bates, Mr. Mousy, all these other people, you know, they're out there pushing this stuff, and the Surgeon General today was pushing the stuff. They're still pushing it. The greatest gift you can give for the holidays is this, getting your updated, updated, you know, poison. You know, my friends, this is what Hitler was doing when he knew. His generals came to him and they said, Herr Führer, mein Führer, we don't have the resources anymore to continue on to Moscow. Our tanks are standing in the freezing cold 250 miles outside of Moscow, right? And you know, we have to pick between running the gas chambers and, you know, what is it called? Allocating resources to our soldiers to feed them and clothe them and warm them. They told him, we have a war on two fronts. Mein Führer, we can't keep doing this. And, you know, he said, they told him, we're about to lose. He said, oh, we're about to lose? We're about to lose? We're about to lose? Crank up the gas chambers faster. That's what he said. Ladies and gentlemen, they know that the walls are closing in. So the walls are closing in, and they know that they have an opportunity still, because some of these normies, most people are still haven't caught on. They have to cause the maximum amount of destruction and death as humanly possible. They have an ideology. The people at the top, people in the middle just have directives, and they have their job to lose, and they, you know, or some of them, you know, were offered money, what have you. Some of them actually believe this stuff. They're gullible, ladies and gentlemen. But this is Hanukkah, you know? This is Hanukkah, where the people who are against God and the people who worship all kinds of Gnostic, who are into all kinds of Gnostic fruitcakery, as my friend Frank likes to call it, this is when they are defeated, and the few defeat the many, my friends. Because, you know, these people, actually, there's not even that many of them. It's just that they have unlimited resources. But you know what? We're going to see in the coming months that these people are going to lose. And you're going to see that they're going to fight. They're going to scramble. They're going to fight. They're going to battle. My friend is writing, yeah, many are dying of coronary. Yeah, listen. That should not be mentioned. I'm going to try to post this on YouTube. That which shall not be mentioned, my friends. It will not be. So, yeah. Go to a nice little Hanukkah event. A couple of events tonight. B'ezrat Hashem. And as our friend Rabbi Kessin says, let's see what happens.